You do not need a virtual assistant course to become a VA. Yep, I said it. You do not need a course. And by the end of this video, you're going to find out why. You would be wondering, who is this person and why do you have so much audacity? Well, I'm B from LifeBuddy. I am a virtual assistant. I have been one for the last 5 years. I went through a shitload of courses and I'm here to tell you that you don't need to do the same. What you rather need is a guide, a roadmap, some will call it a mentorship, just basically someone to hold your hand, tell you what to do, tell you what to learn, and you would be right there landing interviews, scoring clients, and ultimately making money. So let's get to today's class. A brief recap of last week. We talked about getting into the VA space, what was required of you. I sort of gave you guys like a template, an overview of what would be following. And for this week, okay, so 2 reasons why I have a notebook. Number one, the topics we're going to follow this week. We have goals, how to set them, roadblocks, soft skills needed for a virtual assistant, and of course, how to select your niche. So today you're going to actually properly learn how to select your niche. And then I have a bunch of questions from you guys. I asked for 5 questions. Anyways, it's great. It's great that you guys sent all these. I'll try my best to answer them, and if I cannot answer all of them, I'm going to make a separate video answering all these questions, and then you just get to have your answers. So first things first, we're going to talk about how to set goals as a VA. Now, if this is the first time you're seeing this video, this is part of a 1-month series trying to make as many VAs as we can. So you can follow us on Instagram on livebuddy_, not a U, a V. You can also send us an email, livebuddy@gmail.com, if you need to become a virtual assistant, you don't know where to start, or you're currently in your career but you're stuck, you don't know how to use certain freelance platforms like Upwork, general remote issues. Feel free to reach out and I would be happy to provide as much value as I can to you. So we'll get right into it. You keep hearing, oh, you have to set your goals, you have to set your goals. Now I'm just going to break it down. I'm going to explain it to you the exact way I understood what goal setting was, and you're going to come to find out why goal setting is very, very important, even more important than the skills you're going to learn. Because if you have all these skills and you don't know how or where to apply them or use them to reach an end goal, then what is really the meaning? Now, to set goals, the first thing I tell people is you have to set a SMART goal. SMART. S goes for specific, M goes for measurable, A goes for attainable, R goes for relevant, and T goes for time bound. So it's really, really simple. For example, now let's use Anita. Anita is someone who has just graduated from university, is currently working a job where she earns, let's say, 100,000 naira every month, and she actually wants to break into the remote space because she wants to earn more, she wants to work multiple jobs, and she wants to have more time on her hands because her current job makes her work Mondays to Saturdays. Now, the first thing Anita has to do is set a goal. Why do you want to get into the freelance space? Or Anita, why do you want to become a virtual assistant? So what you need to do is, okay, I want to become a virtual assistant because I want more flexibility, I want more time. Yes, all that is really, really attainable. But now when it comes to setting a real goal, if I were to help Anita set a goal, I would go, as a virtual assistant, what do you want to serve? These are the questions I would ask Anita, or I would tell Anita to ask herself. As a virtual assistant, who do you want to serve? So you need to ask yourself this question. I would say, for example, Anita wants to serve businesses. Maybe Anita has idea of social media management. Now she's looking for, okay, how can I transfer my skills over to a client? Now Anita has to set her own goals. Now Anita needs to decide, what are the type of clients I want to hit? So now Anita's goal is she wants to meet freelance clients to give her remote roles when she becomes a social media virtual assistant, right? So first things first, Anita is going to become a social media virtual assistant. That is one goal. How long will it take Anita to become a social media managing assistant? Anita needs to decide that, okay, on an average, this is where research comes in. On an average, people do this within 3 to 6 months. I already have some of the skills, so I can do this within 1 to 2 months. Anita has to decide. That is a time-bound goal. I should have gone through this alphabetically. Okay, let's try and do that. So a SMART goal has to obviously be smart when you talk about it. Anita cannot come now and say, oh, my goal right now as of this moment is I want to manage all the marketing jobs in Apple. It's not possible because you're an individual. Maybe a company and agency could do that, but it's not possible. So you need to make a SMART goal that is also measurable. Like, can we measure this goal? So what Anita currently wants is to become a virtual assistant, but a social media virtual assistant who would serve her clients. So this is a measure, the quality of what Anita. So when we say measure, we're not only talking quantity here, we're also talking quality. Then attainable, like I said, you cannot become the marketing manager of all of Apple as a single person. That has to be like an agency or a company. So Anita has to look for more attainable goals. Maybe I want to help 3 to 5 businesses in the e-commerce space every month. That is a more attainable way to set a goal. And then a relevant goal, it has to be relevant to your niche. You cannot be in social media management and you are looking to help people scale their email marketing. It's never going to work because your niche is social media management. Your goals have to be relevant to your niche. And then lastly, time bound. We already talked about time bound. Time bound, you have to have a time with which you want to set this goal. So what I would say to you is, what you need to do first is be specific. What type of virtual assistant do you want to become? What type of clients do you want to serve? What skills do you currently have that you think you would enjoy learning more about and transferring? So this helps you with your SMART goal setting. And then you have to have KPIs. No setting of goals go without setting KPIs. You must set your KPIs. What are KPIs? Key point indicators. These are like things that will show you that, okay, am I growing or not? Now we will talk about roadblocks. What are the common roadblocks people face when they want to enter the virtual assistant space or even the remote space generally? Maybe you even have the skills, but you don't even know how to navigate. Now, some of the common roadblocks that you might come across that might be discouraging to you. Number one, on top of that list, is how do I find clients? Like, people are constantly asking, how do I find clients? Now, one of the best places for a freelancer to find clients is Upwork, LinkedIn. You already know this, but there are so many more places which we are going to discuss as this course goes on in other episodes. Yeah. Another roadblock is lack of skills. People say, oh, I don't have any skills. Maybe let me use, for example, someone who has maybe done chemistry in the university and all your life you have been working in Zenith Bank. This is like the Nigerian story. You did chemistry working in Zenith Bank. It doesn't relate. Right now you're saying, oh, I don't have skills. What do I do? You have skills. You just haven't sat down to analyze what skills you have and which of them are marketable and transferable. So this is another roadblock. And then I'm not going to talk a lot about roadblock because it is in one of the questions here, and I would like to really break it down for you guys and how to avoid common roadblocks. So also expect a video on how to avoid common roadblocks in the virtual assistant space. But basically in this video, you just need to be aware of them, how to market yourself to clients, how to position yourself, how to price yourself. All these things are roadblocks that make virtual assistants give up midway. So I'm also going to walk you through on how to avoid these roadblocks in another video. The next thing we're going to talk about is your soft skills as a virtual assistant. Now, your soft skills are different from your hard skills. What are soft skills and what are hard skills? Hard skills, I'll start with first, are basically, what do you know? What softwares do you know? What tools do you know? What platforms can you use? Then your soft skills are, what skills do you possess? You have excellent communication skills, active. Now these are different from your hard skills. So as a VA, the soft skills, they are basic soft skills that you must exhibit, and clients would know if you have just written this down on your book and on your CV, and you really do not have these skills. Clients will know in an interview. Number one is communication skills. Communication is not just someone tells this to me and so, okay, I've heard you. and you respond back. That's not what communication is about. You have to practice effective and very detailed communication. Now, employers would always ask you, well, not always, but they will mostly ask you, what are your preferred communication channels? That is when you say things like, oh, I use Slack. For me, a perfect answer is, I use Slack, also use WhatsApp and Discord, but whatever communication channel is okay for you, I'm happy to adjust. That is what you say to a client. So how do you know you have communication skills? I'm going to give you an example. One of my clients was telling me there was a particular column I was supposed to work on his project, and for the life of me I felt like I had worked on it, but since he's saying it wasn't there, I quickly checked and I saw it wasn't there, and I quickly apologized and I said, oh sorry, it must have skipped my mind, I'll get on it and I'll let you know once it's done. And he said okay. And then when I got to my computer, I realized that I had worked on it, but I grouped it with another thing I wasn't supposed to group it with. I did not just ungroup it and keep it there and keep quiet. No, I reached out to my client and said, oh hi, I did work on it, but I had grouped it with, but I have done that now. It is all sorted. Please take a look when you have the time. So having to like bring your clients up to speed, and as a virtual assistant freelancer, you may want to take up more than one job. You may want to be a master of your time and work for more than one client so that nobody has monopoly over you. You also have to know how to communicate to each client, have actionable and reasonable deadlines with your clients. The next skill I'll be talking about is attention to detail. I cannot overemphasize this because that was a skill I lacked greatly. And guess what? This was always the second skill on my CV, but I lacked attention to details greatly. A lot of things would pass me by. My bosses would, like my clients, they would have to call out like little mistakes, and at some point it became embarrassing for me, and I really had to work on it. I had to learn to double check things, run over things again, not be quick to submit, have a look over my results. Like, see, the reason why these people hired you is because they do not want to stress about the little mistakes. So you have to bring your A game and make sure your client has a happy day all the time. Another skill as a virtual assistant you have is organizational skills. A lot of busy entrepreneurs, it's not like they do not want to be organized, but there is no time. Like, I am an entrepreneur and I can tell you for free that 24 hours is never enough. I mean, as I'm speaking to you, I've been awake since 5 a.m. and I have not stopped. So if I have a virtual assistant, I want this virtual assistant to help me organize my day. You have to know how to organize your day. And closely following organizational skills is time management skills. You have to know how to block time. You have to know how to use time. And for time management skills, you have to know how to use Google Calendar, how to schedule on Google Calendar and Calendly. And for organizational skills, you have to learn how to use softwares and platforms like Trello, Monday.com. And then another skill that will shock you, a lot of virtual assistants don't even know they need, is delegation skills. Yes, the boss always needs somebody to help call the shots. They want to delegate tasks, but sometimes they cannot stay on top of these things. That is where you come in place. You also have to be very proactive. You have to be your client's second brain. You have to be proactive, make decisions that will put their brand in a good light. So there are so many other soft skills you need to have. I'm sure you know this. Interpersonal skills, which is literally relating with other people around you, listening skills and what have you. I'm sure you have this, but as a virtual assistant, these are the core soft skills that you need to have. And now we go right into niche selection. Now, it is really simple. What does niche mean? It simply means your area, that small area of specialization, that space where you shine, that space where you're excellent. You have to go through finding it. So when it comes to niche selection, let's be serious. You have to decide what niche you want to get into as a virtual assistant. Now, the mistake a lot of people make, and why a lot of people do not get jobs as virtual assistants, is because a lot of people do not specialize. Now, let me take your head to a place, right? Walk with me. Psychologically, I'm a digital marketer. I'm looking to hire an assistant online. obviously a virtual assistant. What do you think I would need the most? I would need someone who can help make digital marketing processes easier. Obviously, if I'm faced with a general VA who knows how to manage my time, organize my inbox, respond to my messages, set up my itinerary, set up meetings, take down minutes of meetings, help me book whatever bookings I have to book, just generally stay on top of my day. Imagine I had a candidate like that, great spirit, and I had another candidate with all of these skills, but in addition, this person knows a bit of marketing. Who do you genuinely think I'm going to hire? So this reason alone is why you want to specialize. Another number 2 reason why you should specialize: once you have a particular niche you're specialized in, you continue getting better in that niche. You continue building a portfolio in that niche. Employers can see that your track record, your experience, like you have been in this niche. There is nothing you have not seen in this niche, so they can trust their business. Because what employers really want from virtual assistants is they want somebody that can manage the business just like them when they are away. So this is what they need from you. So you have to be good in a particular field, and it just makes the process easier. So what I'm going to advise you is, if you want to pick a niche, go and read on at least 10 niches and find what resonates most with you. Now, what I did was I picked 3 niches. From e-commerce, I decided, okay, I wanted to do digital marketing. From my love from e-commerce, I just moved into digital marketing. And then I also said, I like the idea of project management. And then front-end development, there's money in tech. I like money a lot though. There's money in tech. So I started working on the 3. That was a huge mistake I made. Now what I would advise you to do is read on the 10 niches I am going to give you. Pick 3 that resonates the most with you. Now go to YouTube and find people in this field. You're going to find one that resonates the most with you. Now, the 10 most popular VA niches, and off the top of my head, this is actually from what I have seen in my time in the field. Number 1 at the top of that list, no matter what anybody tells you, is customer support. They are consistently looking for you. If you're in the customer support space, e-commerce support, crazily, e-commerce is like a wildfire. There are a lot of e-commerce brand owners. It is really, really easy to actually start an e-commerce brand. So you have a lot of them wanting to automate their customer service first. So customer service, e-commerce support, administrative or general virtual assistant. Yes, people still hire administrative or general virtual assistant. Now, I am not naming this according to top best 10. I'm just naming it randomly, but these 10 are what I know are more important. People still hire general virtual assistant, stroke administrative virtual assistant, and I'm adding administrative to it because even if you want to stick to just being a virtual assistant, it is still okay, but at least be an administrative one. And as an administrative one, you should know a few tools. You should know how to use Google Workspace. You should know how to use Microsoft Office. I'm talking Excel, PowerPoint, Office tools generally. You should know how to use them. Scheduling, bookkeeping, invoicing, all those things, you should actually know them. Social media managers, very highly recommended. And one reason why I'm highly recommending social media manager is social media manager sets you free from the chokehold of Upwork and LinkedIn. You can actually find job anywhere on the internet as a social media manager. And then content creator, they are always looking for content stroke UGC creators. That is what I will call it. It's another virtual assistant roles that businesses are continuously seeking out. Then we have the real estate VAs. These are the ones that work for real estate companies, booking companies, those companies that do like Airbnb, Booking.com, Wakana. Yes, these are the people that work for them. And then the next type of VA will be medical VAs, then legal VAs. Yes, you heard me right. Medical VAs, medical doctors are looking for virtual assistants as well. Legal VAs, that is number 8. We have 2 left. Okay, we have tech support VA, and then last but not the least, automations and AI. Highly in demand. People are currently hiring that. So these 10 niches are niches I want you to look into and find which one is the most befitting for you. And before we wrap up this video, next week we are going to talk about the tools you need to know. What I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through 5 tools you need to learn how to use as a virtual assistant. Of course, you will get resources, and then I'm going to pick random tools from each niche, not all of the niches anyways, maybe another 5, and just talk about them as well with obviously video tutorials. So I'm just going to go right into the question and answer section. I'm going to pick 5 questions and I'm going to answer those 5. Okay, now luckily some have been answered. Someone asked about softwares to learn as a VA and the niche selection. I have just spoken about that, so that's answered for itself. Oh, another person again asked tools and softwares that are commonly used. Okay, I think I have mentioned some of these, but I'll just go over it again. Trello on the top of that list, Notion, HubSpot, Google Space, Microsoft Office, Calendly, Google Calendar. These are common tools and softwares that are used by virtual assistant. Next question, how to improve time management? Okay, that's a really good question. Now, when it comes to time management, it depends on what are you trying to achieve. Are you trying to achieve maximum productivity? Are you trying to work less hours? Are you trying to do more hours? What are you trying to achieve? So it depends on how many clients are you working with. You need to first of all know how many clients can you genuinely take on, because as a freelancer you need to consistently deliver results, especially if you're a freelancer on Upwork. And then you also have to ask them what time zone would they like you to work in. Now it starts with organizing yourself and not promising more than you can deliver. I know you always hear over deliver. Yes, over deliver, but do not promise that you will over deliver, so that when they get it, they are really happy with the result. Next question, organizational skills. Okay, I think I just spoke about that alongside time management. But when it comes to organizational skills, you need to learn how to use tools like Trello, Notion, and you need to learn how to put things in different blocks. Are you currently doing this? Is it in progress? Are you brainstorming on this? Has this been done? What's the progress of this? You need to have a system. So as we go further in this class, I will teach you how to use Notion to boost your organizational skills. This is the 4th question. Most in-demand skills for a virtual assistant. I really can't give you 5, honestly. Like, a lot of these skills are very much in demand because the world is going digital. A lot of people have their businesses online. So from those 10, you could actually just pick one, because all you need is really just one to focus on and start making your money. And last but not the least question, and I really love this question. This person said, pros and cons of working as a freelance VA versus being employed. Now, I will not necessarily call them pros and cons. I will just say it really depends on what you're looking for at the time. For me, I personally prefer being a freelance VA so that I can tell you the hours I want. Now, being employed, your employment could come in different ways, honestly. You can get a 9-to-5 employment where they tell you, oh, we want you to be available at 9 to 5 so hours. So all these are things you would factor in. It is basically you. What are you looking for? What do you want to do? What do you want to be? Do you want to be a freelance VA? Do you want to be an employed staff of an agency or of a company? It all depends on you. And then I'll just have to let you know that as a freelancer, you don't have benefits, no health benefits, no sick leave, no holiday. Do you understand? So, but as an employed staff, you should get health benefits, you should get paid sick leaves, you should have paid holidays and what have you. So it just generally depends on you. and I would be seeing you guys on the next episode, same time, well, maybe not same time, but on Monday next week. And my one-on-one mentorship is live. A lot of you have been asking, how do you enroll? Can you enroll now, or should you wait till the end of this our program? Honestly, it depends on you. You can enroll at any time. I'm happy to help. It is a hands-on training, meaning you're going to learn everything, you and I together, one-on-one. It is a 1 month class, and it is tailored to your own niche. So someone who's just coming today, it's not a one size fits all. No, this is tailored. This is tailored mentorship to you. Someone who's just getting into the VA space today is going to get a different package from someone who has been here and just needs some refining. So if you're interested, you can send me an email, lifebody@gmail.com, and then we book a discovery call. We'll talk about what you need, where you currently are, where you want to be, how I can help you get there, and also we will discuss pricing and when we start our mentorship. So if you need anything, let me know. Until then, like, comment, do not forget to subscribe. So until Monday next week, bye.